Hello, geeks and girls. How are you today? On September, I did the Monster-a-thon and I did a TBR and all this kind of stuff and did the challenges, and I didn't have much fun, so I was about to say, screw readathons, I'll just read whatever. And then Kasha from Kasha's Book Cemetery goes out and makes Evil A Thon for the month of November, that all the challenges are based on books by Richard Lehman, and in case you cannot see that, I'm a bit of a Lehman fan, so yes, I'm going to talk about, if you're here for the book review, then there will be a link on where to go to avoid all those readathon stuff and go straight to the book, okay? I know you're Harry Hollyholics, many of you, and you want to know about the book we're talking about today, but I'll go for the evilathon stuff. I did no TBR for this readathon because I decided that I should not do the group book, the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, because as you can also see, there is very little space for new books in this bookshelves, and I'm doing sort of an haulathon myself. How many books I believe I might want to unhaul them. They're somewhere else, you cannot see them right now, and I decided to go for the challenges. I'll read one book and then see what challenge it takes. Here are the challenges. And then go to the next one. And the first book, the first challenge I decided to tackle was Among the Missing, read a dark horror thriller. And a key to all readathons is reading small and totally manageable books. So I decided to start with this book over here. This is The Leopard by Jo Nesbo, known as Jo Nesbo, and yeah, that's the Greek version. Jo Nesbo, in case you're not aware of who he is a Norwegian crime fiction author. He's writing crime thrillers, and he said that The Leopard, the original title is Panzerharte, I guess, which is steel hard. It means steel hard and sounds much more metal than the leopard, because there are no leopards in this book. And as you can see, that's it's almost 800 pages long, and you probably say, oh, you said small and manageable books and then you need this chunk of a book. Well, you see, Jo Nesbo books are the kind of roadblocks that you will pick up on a Friday afternoon, and by Sunday you'll have read it all and want for more, because to me, Jo Nesbo is filling this agenda-shaped hole in my readings, meaning that he's writing some gory murders, some bloody good stuff, and that's indeed one of his bloodiest books yet. That makes it a good choice for the thriller. And also he's quite aware of the crime novel thriller tropes, and he can do something very interesting around them. So what's happening in Leopard? In this book, it's the 8th in the Harry Holder series. It's coming right after Snowman, which is probably his most famous book and quite a good serial thriller novel. And after the events in Snowman, Harry Holder has left Norway and he is in Hong Kong. However, a new serial killer appears in Oslo. Yes, it's a serial killer book, sort of, and we'll get to the sort of in a while, who is killing women in very inventive ways. It involves some strange tool of torture where he puts something in their mouths, and when they try to pull it, spikes come out and they choke in their own blood. So yeah, I think that's a dark thriller. It's almost horror book. And yes, of course, into Agenda Fashion, there are some other inventive killings happening in this book, and also very brutal killings. Young and attractive police officer goes to Hong Kong to find Harry Holder, who is the leading expert in serial killers in Norway, since he has solved 3 serial killings. At this point, he has solved the Bat, the Devil Star, and he got the Snowman. So he's the expert, and she finds him, but he owes money, gambling money to the triads, and he's also addicted to opium. So yeah, that's the Harry Holly we all know and love. The self-destructive police officer that's brilliant and he really wants to catch the bad guys, but he hurts himself and those around him in the process. And Harry only agrees to join her back to Norway because his father is dying in the hospital. And when he gets to Norway, he finds out that there is a huge power struggle in the police force between the homicide police department and also Kripos, the special crimes unit, because they are arguing over who takes the 20-something murder cases that happen every year in Norway. Because yes, that's the statistics for murders for Norway. 25 people are getting killed and the police are arguing over who solves the murders. I know, but I mean, each of these books is about 1/4 of the yearly quota of murders in Norway. So I guess this is an alternate universe where serial killings happens in Norway, in Oslo. What can I say? And there are so many threads, and this book is 800 pages long. I know, but by page 200 you're certain that the murder is going to be solved. And it's not. There is always a new development, a new twist happening, and we're still looking for the killer to have more and more questions about what's happening. And when I read when the killer is introduced, I was like, yes, that's the killer. And 100 pages later, I was like, there's no way this person is the killer. So yes, that's what I like. Jo Nesbo is that it's a very intricate book. It's very dense. There are a lot of foreshadowing, which is kind of obvious in some ways because he foreshadows some things he does in order to get out of jail later in this book and have a solution to what's happening, like why Harry gets to find out some things about the killer because of a coincidence, and how he gets out of that spot because of another coincidence, and so on and so on. However, it's very intricately set, and I know I've said I don't like serial killer novels. It's one of my pet peeves in thrillers, the serial killer, the brilliant serial killer, and the reason in this book. And I like Jo Nesbo because he takes this tired concept of a serial killer and actually makes something very interesting out of it. Okay, he fails in the pop psychology stuff because he gets to pop psychology and deeper roots, blah, yada yada yada. You know how this goes, but this is tight. This is a very tight book. It's a breezy read. I read it in 3 days, only because I started on Sunday, so I didn't have a lazy weekend to do that. I had 2 work days to finish it too, and that's quite a feat. It feats 2 of the challenges in the Evil A Thon, the Among the Missing, because the dark horror thriller, and also the Quake, a book that includes natural disaster, because I won't spoil much to you, but parts of this novel happen in active volcanoes in Africa and also in the snowy Norwegian mountains. So you can guess what kind of natural disasters may happen in those places. The killings are over the top and gruesome, and not horror, gruesome. I mean, they're grimy, gruesome murders. You get it right, you get it. It was probably his most violent book yet, and there's some pretty horrible stuff happening, some pretty horrible stuff happening too with Harry and his life and his character arc, because he can get very messy in his cases, and the way everything is resolved is... it's Harry Hollow. If you have read these books, you know exactly what I mean. The mystery and the reason behind the killings is quite interesting and makes sense in a way, apart from the hyperrealism that is used in Harry Potter books. I mean, after Redeemer, when people with special abilities start to appear, like the Redeemer or what was the name of the forensics officer that can remember faces perfectly? Yes, after a while, I'm just, reading these books knowing that they're not realistic. It's a hyper reality, like Argento movies, like the Animal Trilogy that had some very strange stuff, like the machine that could find out the imprint on the retina of a dying man or something. The Harry Potter books to me are serial killer operas. And there's some big spectacular set pieces that are there to wow you, and here there is one. It's not as stylish as the opera scene, the bat, or the murders committed by the Snowman, or all this kind of stuff. But yeah, they're here and they're great. And I had a lot of fun reading it. It was a bit tedious because you can see the resolution coming all the time. It was taken away from you like that, and you had to continue reading. And it kind of frustrated me now because I needed to know what was happening. Yes, it's this kind of book. It's a great thriller. If you haven't read Jo Nesbo, you should definitely pick him up. You can would suggest starting with Red Breast, which is not a serial killer book. It's Harry Hollis hunting somebody who believes will try to murder somebody else. It's this kind of play on crime tropes, and here the serial kill tropes are kind of interestingly used. And yeah, I trust Jo Nesbo to write serial killer books that make sense. That was my review for Evil A The Leopard by Jo Nesbo. If you've read the book, I would love to hear your comments. If you're doing Evil A Thon, I'll probably watch your videos. I've also done another challenge. I did the challenge number 6, Dreadful Tales. A couple of short horror stories. I'm finishing up Local Haunts in between the other books I'm reading. I think the next book I'm going to read is Dark Mountain by Richard Lehman, who is the person of honor in this readathon. And I'll do this book for Challenges Island. Read a book about a trip that ends bad, as well as blood games. Read a book that trope a group of friends go to play 6 and start dying. It's a really short book. It's tried and true. Both are tried and true Layman and tropes, and I'm choosing Dark Mountain because it is really short. And also it comes together with Beware, and I was watching Anna from Blur from the Serb quite some time ago, and she was reading the back of Beware, the blurb, and I was like, wow, this sounds very cool, I want to read it. So since they're packed in one volume, I'll do a 2-for-1. I'm not sure I'll do Beware this month or December, but it will be fun. So as always, thank you for watching and stay spooky.